Joining me now, Minnesota whistleblower Faye Bernstein, along with Minnesota State Representative and Republican gubernatorial candidate Kristin Robbins, who shared these letters with us. Faye, let me start with you. I was reading your letter this morning, and you said attempts to bring compliance to DHS have been absolute career suicide. Faye, I would think DHS would say thank you to you. What did they do instead?
Oh, gosh, no. I don't believe anyone has ever gotten a thank you for delivering what is viewed as bad news to leadership. So, no, the smear campaign starts where you are told that you are racist, and then your job duties are lessened and lessened until you basically have no job duties. And there is just a continuous effort to stifle you, to shut you up. And it is impossible to overcome. I tell you, in my case, it was many, many sleepless nights and many, many very long, sad days trying to save my career and also trying to accomplish something that it was clear we needed assistance with.
And Faye, just sticking with you for a moment, what specifically did you see? And this is addressed to Minnesota Department of Human Services.
At the Minnesota Department of Human Services, I started noticing in 2019 that we had contracting practices that were in some cases just simply in violation of law. In other cases, were just very, very risky. In both of those types of problems I noticed, it really was the same response. It was that I was, in fact, the bad employee. So for our governor now to say that leadership was not aware, has not been implicated for any wrongdoing, that just seems crazy to me. I can say myself that the people you just listed off, leadership, human resources, internal audits, and the commissioner, those are all people that I have notified numerous times.
Wow.
To the point that sometimes I'm kind of embarrassed to repeat myself because I have just become a broken record. It's been sometimes just downright embarrassing to go on and on about this. So to say that leadership was not aware or the governor was not aware I can tell you that is absolutely false.
Wow. Kristin, now you have been at the helm of this. You've received several letters, and Faye is not the only whistleblower. You have several other whistleblowers that say they've been retaliated against on the job by having their vacations and promotions denied. Every keystroke of their work was monitored. Characterize this broadly.
Yes, it's unbelievable. I became chair of the fraud committee last year, and we passed a whistleblower law that extended whistleblower protection to state employees so they could report to state legislators, not just up through their supervisors. And that just opened the floodgates of whistleblowers to our committee. And so we have had multiple meetings with a group of whistleblowers who are still there bravely doing their jobs, trying to protect taxpayers and vulnerable citizens. And I can't thank them enough. But they have outlined in the letter that you have, which I gave with permission to the House Oversight Committee, the details of this. And despite all this harassment, surveillance, reassignment, they continue to sound the alarm on these programs. And if they would have been listened to, it would have saved the taxpayers of Minnesota hundreds of millions of dollars just in the housing stabilization program, let alone all the other Medicaid-funded programs that they have been flagging for years.
Kristin, you know, they're still working some of these under Governor Walz, these whistleblowers. After the explosive Nick Shirley video, have they seen change, or have you communicated with them after that video came out? Have they seen more accountability, or is it status quo?
You know, certainly there's been some small changes. Eric Grumdahl was fired the day before our hearing on housing stabilization. So, and they've now limited the number of providers in these different programs that can. We're not adding new providers in some of the programs that our committee has flagged. So there's been some changes, but the culture of harassment has not changed. Yeah. And that's what's very concerning to me. I continue to get whistleblower reports every week from people inside these agencies who, when they raise their head are retaliated against or warned or threatened. And so they are still in a very toxic work culture, and I'm doing my best to encourage them and help them. And I'm grateful for Faye. She's been sort of willing to go on the record more than anyone. So
Faye,
we're so grateful for the brave whistleblowers.
Faye, I've got 15 seconds here, but you said I have only voted for Democrats. I consider myself a Democrat. This is definitely not something that Republicans are making up. This is real. Just a few moments, but your message to Governor Walz, who used the term make-believe.
Oh, it's not make-believe. That's craziness. It's not make-believe. I see this every day. I still go to work every day, and I see this, and it is not make-believe. Yeah. And as far as my being a Democrat, right now we have to have a governor who is willing to tackle this.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if they're a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, Kristin Robbins, Faye Bernstein, thank you so much.